everybody, we are back from break with more Dungeon of the Mad Mage. When we left our heroes, they had spent the evening resting in Spider Watch Keep, the stronghold of House Freth. And on the morning, they once again engaged with Erlal, Driven, and Zoran Adaragon over the matter of the rescue of Dirzana Freth from the clutches of House Avrandar. Conversations about various different things, the presence of Borden Brooks, the layout of the 10th level of the dungeon, the exact location of Dirzana Freth and her companion Arachnophane. And then we ended on a note where Driven Freth had pulled Ezrah aside, had a brief conversation with him, and then imparted to him a boon, a gift, a loan of the Staff of Interposing Ideals, in an effort to have Ezrah be a little more defended in situations. And I think it's at that point, right? Like, Erlal and Zoran have been discussing things with the party as this little conversation has been happening off on the side. And, it's like Driven hands the staff over to Ezrah, and Ezrah kind of like goes through the motions, and then Ezrah, you realize the talking has stopped, and multiple people are looking at you and Driven. And Zoran is one of them, and after the like this moment like hangs in the open for a second, and then Zoran looks at the rest of the party and he goes, "I'm not giving y'all shit. This shit's mine. I worked hard for this."
Actually, I got a question about your shit.
He gives you the stink eye. I don't know that I got an answer.
Well, when we fought, I think I got an idea of what it does. I've got a question. If a demon not from this plane was slain by that, would it stop them from going back?
Oh, that's not Driven. That's the Shadow Dude.
Yeah, that's
sorry.
Zarin.
Zoran is the one saying this. That's my bad. I probably said the wrong name at the beginning. So yeah. He looks at you and he says, I'm not 100% sure, but my assumption would be is they'd stick around until I couldn't keep them around anymore, which isn't very long.
Okay. We're just trying to become aware of potential solutions to problems we've had in the past. But
got a lot of demons chasing you around?
More, plural, yeah.
Zoran looks over at Driven and Erlal, and Driven just kind of like shrugs and he says, "Look, we knew when we signed on with them that there was the potential they could bring trouble upon us. We're taking a risk, Zoran." And Zoran looks at me like, "Well, I don't know why you're telling me that. I am the risk taker." And there's you see a moment, right, where like Zoran and Driven are kind of being catty towards each other. There's not like, there doesn't seem to be real animosity there, but there does seem to be like maybe, a difference in styles and preference there.
I wish I knew what that felt like.
I really like his token, how his ear kind of clips the border a little bit. That's a nice touch. I like that.
He's nice. He's nice. Okay, so, Erlal kind of like tuts and kind of like calls attention back to the conversation at hand, and looks at the party and says, "Do you have more to discuss? Do you have more that you feel you need to know? I understand the situation is what it is, and obviously, again, we've said you do not have to assist if you don't want to or feel as if you can't, but if you're going to, I would prefer this happen sooner rather than later." And you can tell she's trying to keep it together, but again, she witnessed her daughter being tortured while scrying for information while, like, it's hard to be in that place and just be like, we can take our time, right?
Well, I'll start pointing. Ready? Matt.
Well, as you're pointing, Zoran's like, yeah, I'm ready as soon as we know where we're going. And
all right.
they look at you guys, right? You guys are the decision makers here.
We're going the quick way, or basically, do we want to risk the portal, or do we want safety and have a higher chance of running in the mural? Is it mural or muriel?
Mural.
Mural.
It's okay. Real. It's weird because it's spelled like Muriel, right? But the pronunciations that I've seen WotC staff use is mural.
Mural. All right. Then that is what I will use.
But,
I lean towards going through the mural area, but
that's like that'll get us there in like now. We take the portal, we're there, and we have protection.
Yes. Well, so Erlal will clarify that both of the portals that you would be taking are down in the mist. So you're gonna have to go through the mist to get to either portal.
You're right, but yeah. But one means going back up the 6 and then down another portal in which we won't have protection.
You're muted, Zach.
He's on the phone.
Oh, gotcha.
He's not talking to you.
Yes, I am muted. I'm intentionally muted, jackass. Okay. So Matashtai has kind of like thrown his in for the let's go the quick way kind of concept. Other opinions?
The only thing, and all of this depends on our silence, and that's always a risk. Not all of us are as stealthy as some of us.
Zoran looks at Bones.
Super stealthy. I don't know what you're talking about.
Statement, not all of us.
Not all of us are.
Half of us are really, really good at it, and the other half are.
That's
on a good day.
Approaching a Taliesin.
I'm only
things
good
need
because
life
of my
to live.
I have no proficiency in it.
What are you talking about? Look how stealthy I am.
You just have a high proficient or a high dexterity.
Yeah, I just have a high dex.
That's fair. I mean, an 18's pretty solid.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Okay, so Zoran will again defer to you, but Zoran's stealthy. Zoran feels perfectly comfortable going either direction.
Look, if we're like going stealthy anyways, like. Then we have I'm assuming that our chances of not running in the mural is going to be higher anyways because we're taking it so stealthy. I'm leaning towards the just let's get there now.
Okay. Ash just throws his a lot in the quick way.
But I'm like
he's willing to change regardless.
I'm not going to die on that hill.
Wait, you're saying Jay is being flexible?
Yeah.
Oh, baby, he's been working out. Look at that muscles.
Oh, shit. All right,
let's see
Ezra,
that flex.
Preferences?
I mean, it's a risk either which way, and
it is.
There's a gamble when it comes to playing the stealthy game. That's fine. I'm just...
That's not an answer. That is... In fact, hemming and hawing and not giving an answer. As is the Ezra way. That is Ezra describing, well, here's all the potential issues.
Yep. Here's the options.
Yes.
And here's all the here's the list of 20 pros and 20 cons.
Oh, fuck.
So which do you prefer? Well, here's the list.
Are you gonna stand by that? Is that the stance? All right, Bones, do you have a response?
He's still muted.
You're still muted?
And still...
Sorry, which path to take? Is
Yeah,
that what
which
we're
path to
doing?
take? Matashtai and Ashes have both kind of voted quick path. So straight into the heart of Mural's territory. But you and Ezra could still kind of like vote the other direction and have that happen. Up to you.
I mean, I'm down for whatever. I just I wonder how much quicker it is than
Well, so bear in mind, quick isn't just quick; it's also one portal, right? So taking one portal at which you're blessed versus taking multiple portals, one of which not being blessed, which might be roughly the same speed, or you could take one portal where you're blessed back to the 6th floor and walk all the way to the 10th, which is going to take a really long time.
well, that, and we don't know if this man is cool with the headmaster, and
Yeah, I mean,
it could, our
and
portal could take hours. And I'll be honest with you guys, I've been feeling like I've been missing something for a while, and I just don't know what it is, and I don't really feel like losing more stuff.
yeah, is that how that goes?
That's how I'm playing it. Yeah.
That's how that goes.
We should just start playing 20 questions with Bones about things we know and see if there's ever something that we recall that he does not.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
Maybe.
physical or mental. It's just something that's not here. Anyway, long story short, I think that we should just go ahead and grab the proverbial dog by the tail.
Hmm?
Yeah, I speak in proverbs now.
Interesting.
Matt, what you feeling?
I mean, I don't know that my opinion has changed.
I forgot what it was.
Oh, I was leaning towards taking the Mural's Gauntlet way.
The fast
Okay.
way.
Yeah.
Or the one portal way. Okay.
One portal.
So it sounds like the general plan is the one portal way into Mural's Gauntlet. There is some hesitance there because there's risk, right? There is an inherent risk. So there is concern about that situation, but it is what it is, right? Like there's going to be potential issues and problems. So there's a little bit of hemming and hawing back and forth. There's a little bit of discussion around the table. House Freth provides what information it can to help you along in your decisions, but none of them, legitimately, none of them try to pressure you into making one choice over the other. And eventually it seems as if it's likely that the party settles on taking the one portal into Mural's Gauntlet with the intention of just very quietly, very stealthily making their way through to safety and going from there.
I'm in agreement with this.
Say what?
Just rip that band-aid off.
I'm
Get
in
over it.
agreement with this strategy.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. All right. Zeron will at that point look over and ask Driven, what's the activity with the Zazana recently? I've been out of pocket. And Driven will look at him and say, it's not been good. You'll probably have to take the long way around. And Zeron just kind of sighs and he's like, off to a great start already. Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get back.
You guys have been in the mist?
You mean the scary Minotaur things that tried to fuck us up?
Yes, those. Absolutely. That's the Zazana.
No, we haven't been there.
Oh.
We haven't been there.
Oh, well, your powers of divination are astute,
Ooh,
Ezra.
don't say that word around me. Don't say that word. It's a bad word.
We want to spend as little time in the mist as possible, and we want to attract as little attention in the mist as possible. Let's consider this a precursor to heading through Mural's Gauntlet, because as soon as we attract attention in the mist, then we have to deal with that attention. And we don't want to, especially not to start with, right? So, everybody ready? Game faces?
Let's do it.
And he turns.
Game face.
He turns to Erelal, and Erelal steps forward, and she reaches up once more and clasps the crown upon her head, and you see her eyes roll back into her head, and light shines forth, and she begins to kind of like hum, and it sounds like she's singing almost as if she's playing the harp, right? The sounds of the harp, as you heard her play it, begin to emanate from her, and you all feel a warmth wash over you as you gain Eralal's blessing for your journey through the portal on this level. So,
Nice.
and then Zoran's like, all right, I will lead you to the portal. Oh God, I gotta go look at a thing real quick. I gotta see a man about a horse.
He's going poop.
And in this case, the horse is...
Poop.
Oh God. It's that one. Yep. What? That don't make no sense. What you talking about, Willis?
Let's.
Odie is playing Sentinel.
Little gargoyle.
Yeah.
Right.
Technically, that's a grotesque.
Zoran will walk over to Driven, who reaches into his pocket and pulls out 2 scrolls, and hands them over to Driven, or hands them over to Zoran, right? And Zoran pockets those scrolls, and he looks at you and says, "We'll need them for the gates. I suppose if I die in Mural's gauntlets, make sure you take this if you're heading back the same way."
The gate
What-
requires a scroll to open.
What are
He's like, "I'll explain when we get there. Easier just shown than
What if you
all
die?
the rest
What
of
if
it.
you die before we get there?
If I die before we make it to the gate on this floor, I hope you all die with me."
Are we
Wow.
are we good on preparations? Do we need to pass around any other items or
Right, there was the idea of giving the ring of invisibility to someone, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, obviously, you guys don't have to do those types of things, but if you guys want to optimize your strategy for being as stealthy as possible, you can do whatever you feel like you need to do.
yeah? I mean, if you want to, I'm down. I'll give it to somebody to use.
I don't
Bones
have
of like the night,
anything-
regardless.
I do have in my inventory 1 potion of greater invisibility,
Ooh,
That lasts a minute.
but
That's
I
awesome for
will
combat.
say that it has a question mark by it, meaning that I'm not entirely sure that's what it is. But it's like, potion. It's like red magic liquid. And, oh yeah, it's obviously a potion of healing. So
This is definitely tequila. Nope, it's Bacardi 151.
tequila.
but yeah.
No, thank you.
That's a Milwaukee River.
I mean, I'm down for whatever, man. Like, I'll take that mysterious potion if you don't want it though.
I mean, sure. Like, I mean, if wait, what are the like the how many sources of invisibility do we have?
Bones'
I believe
ring,
Ezra
Bones'
actually
ring,
knows the spell.
this potential potion.
and Ezra knows greater invisibility, right?
Okay, so we can get 3 of us invisible.
Well, greater
But greater invisibility
again,
is not a
only
great
minute.
travel invisibility.
Yeah,
it only
'cause
lasts
that's
for a minute.
30 seconds
It could
a
be
minute.
good. It could be good to, like, if you guys get caught, use it as an escape mechanism type scenario.
Yeah,
But like, it's not. It doesn't especially since like when you when you're traveling, right, it's not expected that you're running 60 feet every 6 turns.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So you actually would not get much distance out of a single minute, you know?
But I think that's all I have that would be relevant.
I think the only
I got
big
a
thing
smoke
is
blast.
whether
I
or
can
not
make
someone
smoke.
Yeah, that's fair. But I think the only big thing is whether or not someone else is going to use the Ring of Invisibility that Bones is proffered, right? But that is an attunement slot, so keep that in mind.
I'd also like to attune to my Ring of Warmth again.
Okay. Cool.
I forgot to do it once I got my
Get up.
5th attunement slot.
Bad boy. Bad boy. He's choking himself.
Oh no, he's into autoerotic asphyxiation.
I ain't kink shaming. I just don't want him to throw up next to me.
I'm kink shaming. Stop it.
He's a little bit dumb. He'll just lay on his throat and cause himself to.
Okay, so nobody wants a ring. I'm cool with keeping it. I don't care.
Going once.
Hey, I would take it, but I think I'd rather have my staff of ethereal available if I need it to shunt through or get somewhere. So
Okay, Matashtai is out, going twice.
I mean, if you want me to have it, I'm probably the second worst stealthy boy.
You are, yes.
Ezra?
Can I cast it on other people, or is it just me?
No. It's attunement and that person.
It's like
can
Frodo's
use it.
ring.
Yeah, basically.
No.
Sweet.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. If you want it, like, I'm okay with it, like, to help with the
Yeah, Ezra?
infiltration.
What
So
attunement
you
are
don't
you
have to,
dropping
like,
for
roll
it?
spell slots.
I'm gonna drop the Wand of Steam and Vapor.
Okay, Wand of Steam and Vapor gone.
I've been waiting to use this thing since I got it.
my poor boy. Ring of Invisibility on Ezra. That does open up another attunement slot for you, Bones.
Well, he just said he was attuning to.
Oh
Warmth, I thought.
no, I think he had one open for the Ring of Warmth. He just hadn't put it on yet.
Yeah, I'm a ring cat. I've just discovered this recently.
He's
I'm
got all
cat.
the rings.
Yeah, I have my invisibility ring. I have my brief blessing ring. I
just
have my
loaded
warp
up
ring.
some bunch of rings on both hands.
I'm a ring cat.
And by the end of this, Bones is going to be decked out in rings. All of them are going to be magical. He just can't use them all at the same time.
Yeah.
He just wears them
realize-
anyways.
I can feel like just a little bit ago, but yes, rings are apparently my thing.
Right.
So just to be clear, this is not the legendary version. It's 3 uses, and that's the only deviation.
That's the only deviation.
Okay, let me ask you this. I, as a magical cat,
Oh boy.
can I attune and use the Wand of Enemy Detection?
Yes. So the way I play wands is anyone can use a wand. It's just if you don't have a spell casting ability, save DCs and attack rolls are lessened. Sometimes they're at disadvantage.
Matter for that. All right, I'm
the
doing
wand.
that.
This is actually like a perfect wand for you to use because it doesn't require anything else. It's just, hey, wand, are you beeping?
Nah.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'm down. That's what I'm attuning to. I'm taking Ring of Lesser Invisibility off to give to Ezra.
Okay.
We're min-maxing the shit out of this.
Hell yeah.
And I'm gonna say Wand of Enemy
Okay.
Detection.
For clarity, to make sure everyone realizes, not just you guys, but anyone watching, the stakes of this game have gotten pretty high. You guys are on floor 12 of the dungeon. House Avrindar is a major faction that you are fucking with, and you're going through the territory.
They're fucking with us. Get it right.
That's very true.
Yeah, they started
And you're
this.
going through the territory of one of Halaster's 7. So there's a lot of big names moving around at this point. So fuck yeah, min-maxing might be a good idea.
Matt, do you need any like you good? You going as is?
Good. Good as I'm gonna be.
Well, Matt does have the pocket etherealness if he needs it.
Yeah, like
That's true.
if you guys are all hidden and someone fucking sees me, I can pop out and
Just leave
Hey,
the plane.
I only have a potion of questionably greater invisibility.
Oh, and like a plus 15 to stealth.
I don't think it's 15.
And
Like,
a,
also, I
and a minimum
walk on the ceiling.
minimum 10 roll.
It's actually
Cannot
16.
fail.
It's actually
Yeah,
16. So the lowest you can get is a 26.
Correct. Yes.
So shut up. Just straight shut up. Get out of here.
Just saying.
Put the sass on the table. And
Right. Get the fuck out. Hi.
Ashes, do you have a super stock of greater healing potions?
Well, it's not a super stock. I have got 2 potions of healing and then 5 upgraders, which I am more than
You want
willing
to toss
to.
1 greater my way, just because I did use a couple in the last.
Distributing potions could be a good idea. While you guys are doing this, Ron will
Add in
actually kind of say, "Hey, that's a great idea." Erlol, and she'll say, "Actually, we just got some from Lockstorl not too long ago," and she'll hand Zeron 2 potions of greater healing as well.
Nice.
So
Good
he
to know.
has
Everyone
some.
remember to get those off his corpse when he dies.
I just want to-
You say that out loud?
No, I do not.
He does. He definitely does.
I mean, you're welcome to do some stuff. Actually, Zeron will walk over to Bones as this happens.
Hello, it's me. I'm a cat.
And he looks at you and he says,
No.
"All right, well, I said I wasn't gonna give you any of this stuff, but
Oh my god, you're gonna give me the ability to jump through shadows?
no, absolutely not.
That's disappointing, but understandable.
I have a couple of these. It makes sense for me to kind of spread them out in case they are super useful in a situation." And he reaches into a pouch and he holds out a little, like, ball. And you recognize this.
Well
It's a flashbang.
Yep.
Yeah, flashbang!
And I think you actually... And he looks at you and he goes, "Ugh, well, fuck that. You have your own. I'm keeping mine." So he's like...
Did you just Ric Flair him? Woo!
Yeah, I did.
Ric Flair.
Oh, God. So Zeron was gonna give you a flashbang, Bones, but he's like, "Never fucking mind. You've got your own. I'm keeping mine."
It's understandable.
Yeah.
So about teaching him to teleport through shadows.
No, absolutely not. Definitely not. Look, you wanna worship Elistrai for the next 5 years and take the express path and get it done in 6 months and blah 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 blah. Sure, we'll kick it over.
Yeah, can we put the campaign on hold for 6 months?
I mean, Ashes is already going through the ascending the path of his goddess. He's doing it in his time. You can do it in yours. I'm just
I
saying.
want to be religious. I'll be religious when Gad comes back.
That's fair. Okay.
Wow.
So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we could teach you to jump through shadows. There's a monk school that I'm familiar with, which knew how to do stuff like that.
that's true.
Or we could teach you religiosity.
Oh, how rude would it be if Matashtai just goes that route and it's just like
Oh. Just taunts even further.
absolutely rude, super rude. That's okay. Bones can turn into a ghost, so what the fuck ever,
Yeah,
right?
I can turn into a ghost.
Like, I mean, that's actually Ashes turns into a werewolf. Ezra turns into a lightning boy. Bones turns into a ghost. Once again, Matashtai is the most normal
I'm the
individual
most
at
normal
the fucking
person.
table.
I
The
think what you
most
mean
normal alien.
Yes.
he is the most alien in the group.
He might
You're
not
a-
transform
you're
into
alien
but he's
because
got
you're
a
different,
literal
bitch.
ghost living inside of him.
That's true.
That is not normal.
So, is everyone ready at this point? You gained Erelol's
Sure.
blessing. You've had some conversations back and forth. You know kind of like your trajectory. Zeron is going... I mean, he'll let you know, right? He's gonna He's going with you. He's in it for a penny, in for a penny, in for a pound. He's gonna try to help you guys get through and navigate and everything like that. But he doesn't know where you guys are going. He doesn't know. He knows the general layout. He does not know specifically how to get from point A to point B. So he's gonna try to do his best to guide you and everything. But you guys are gonna be a part of that decision-making process as well. So, everyone is now prepped and ready. A messenger has been sent out a few moments before to make ready. And in point of fact, there is going to be a diversion created to give you guys advantage on your stealth through the mist.
Sweet.
So Housefreth is going to launch a little mini raid into Zazana territory in order to hopefully draw any attention that the Mistatars might have, to give you guys advantage on that situation. Is there anything else before you guys head out? Going once? Going twice. Erolal steps across and she touches each one of you, right? Like, kind of like, she doesn't straight ask permission each time, but she kind of like looks you in the eyes and like looks for permission, and then touches like each of you on the shoulder. And you've already felt that kind of like warmth blossom over you. But she also is going to give each one of you a blessing of the Great Mother. You are each inspired for the next hour.
Mm-hmm.
You have a single 1d10 to use, just like you would Bardic Inspiration.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
Okay,
Wow.
cool.
Very cool.
Shit. Now, which version of Bardic Inspiration are we dealing with?
It can be used for anything.
Saves
Can I add it
and
to my
attack.
damage?
It can be used for anything.
Oh,
It can
Oh,
be used
this
for
is- this is
anything
the-
except for a D100 roll. It can
Can I-
be used for any D20 roll, basically.
So I can use it for a D100 roll. Got it.
It's-
No.
If it's
Okay.
used on a crit, do you roll 2 of it?
No. Well, you know what? You know
you're
what?
Asking the real
I mean,
questions.
I mean,
No,
technically,
I'll give you
if
that.
it's a crit, you
Yeah.
get double. Yeah,
I'll give you that.
that's-
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And she
got smite.
sends you all off with the blessing of Elistrai, the blessing of the Great Mother. And you see immediately as you kind of like turn to leave, she turns and she goes into kind of like a her eyes go downcast, her head drops. She goes and she sits on that crystal divan and she just begins to play the harp, and you can see she's weeping openly, and just hoping that by the end of the day her daughter will be safe in her arms again, and that there will not be a major cost for it. Right? That's the flip side of it. Driven wishes you all well. You are led out by Zaran Adaragon. And
like your-
as you guys head back the way you came, out into the open, beyond the walls of Spiderwatch Keep, you are met by a small group of drow. Let me take my check marks off of people. Ba-ba-ba-ba. I gotta read some descriptions.
Ooh, he's got words for us, boys.
I've got words. They're multiplying. Please don't multiply. Okay, so you see a small party of drow there waiting for you, and it's armed to the teeth, right? It is a drow Housefreth raiding party that is going to dive into the territory of the Zazana, to be a little bit of a distraction for you. You see a couple of figures of note amongst this party. You see one very, very well-built drow man, incredibly broad shoulders and muscular frame. Very unlike most of the other drow that you've seen. Most drow, even the more muscular drow, are really more wiry than anything else, right? Like they're compact and they still have that kind of like lithe elven kind of like physique. This guy's built like Ashes is, right? Like he's almost built like a brute, right? And his garb is different as well. Rather than the simple kind of like leather harness and that type of scenario, or rather than the simple leathers and that type of scenario, he has a leather harness that sits very tightly across his chest, and his muscles kind of bulge from form-fitting leathers that he wears. And you can see the glint of metal attached to many of the pieces. He's actually wearing a brigandine, right? So there's metal plating underneath his leather.
Yep.
So initially, his dark features, his long silvery hair, and his build make him pretty attractive to the normal individual, right? Like this is a very handsome-looking man. But when you look on his face, you see an eye patch, or sorry, not an eye patch. It's just an eye socket that is empty, and just a horrible mass of scars on the side of his face, and an impassive, almost dead look in the remaining eye. And all of that kind of like, oh, this is a well-built, well-put-together man, kind of like that fades away. And he just has a gallows kind of like look about him.
Well put together. Nope.
Yeah, right? Like, you're just like, okay, hold, no.
Butterface.
And then there's another guy standing next to this individual, and this one is standing a little forward, kind of like leading the group. He holds a very relaxed stance, and he has a very stoic expression on his face. He has shorter hair than most of the other drow that you've seen. It kind of spikes backwards away from his shoulders and kind of like large clump. It's almost kind of like anime hair, kind of like spikes backwards like this, right? Very obvious that there's some sort of like, that's not how hair normally sits. So he's using something or doing something to cause that to be like that, right? At first glance, he is wearing the same style of arms and armor that most of the other drow that you've seen in House Freth wear. But his all appear to be kind of like 2 sizes larger than what he needs. Like he has very loose-fitting armor and kind of like very bagging, like a very baggy tunic, and his trousers are ill-fitting and everything like that. To the untrained eye, it seems almost as if he's bored of your presence. But all of you, again, you're 13th level? 13th level? Are you guys 13th level?
Yes.
My God, when do you guys get 13th level? You guys are all 13th level adventurers. You're very good at what you do. This is you can see subtle shifts in his body weight as you approach. And you can see these little flicks of his eyes, like looking about. This man is exceedingly aware of everything that is going on around him, and he is wearing the gear that he is wearing hides his movements, so that you cannot tell which way he is shifting or moving or something like that. It's an act. It's a performance, right? Each of you clock this as you kind of like stride across the ground towards this small raiding party. And as you approach, Zeron looks over at this lead individual, and he kind of like hails him, and he says, "Zaftal, ready for a little bit of a raid? I heard you and your brother were cutting your teeth not too long ago." The dour man with the missing eye growls. Like, straight up just kind of like shows teeth and growls at Zeron. And Zeron just like, right? But this other individual, Zaftal, that he addressed, right? Just kind of like, again, looks a little bored, just kind of like shrugs nonchalantly and says, "We do as the queen commands." And Zoran kind of like looks around. He says, "The queen? Are we that cold these days? We're calling your mother the queen?" Nice.
Oh.
And again, this individual just kind of shrugs nonchalantly. Says, "Are we about this or not, Zoran?" And Zoran kind of like sighs and looks back at each of you and says, "Are you ready?"
It will
Yeah.
nod.
Okay. He nods to Zaftal, and Zaftal looks at each of you and he says, "Give us 5 minutes, then move." And this small group begins to jog up this little ridge that you can see to the south, right? They begin to jog up it and eventually disappear along its route, while Zoran takes you back the way that you originally came.
Okay.
All right. Hell yes. We're gonna do this. You guys are gonna come this way. Then down here. Alright. Fantabulous. You guys, Zoran escorts you south through those thick iron cables again, right? And you find yourself approaching, once again, the mist. It takes you a minute or two to get over here, right? So Zoran kind of like pauses you once you arrive and starts to very obviously kind of just like measure time. So you all have like a brief moment here where you can do something if you so choose to kind of like prep for things, or just wait until time is ready to go.
I don't think I got anything to prep.
Okay.
I
Zoran.
will trigger the ring right before we go.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that bitch lasts for an hour. You should be good, right?
Yep.
And if it's not good, you have 2 more charges. So, okay. Zoran will explain to you, right, that he is going to try to move swiftly but silently. So he is going to be moving at a full pace, not dashing, just full movement, so that you all can try to remain as stealthy as possible. Basically, during a scenario like this, right, you could have the option of move slow to increase your stealth, move normal, neutral, or move fast, decreased stealth. He's going to move neutral so that everyone can just kind of like do okay, unless you guys prefer otherwise.
No, that seems fine. We'll save
Works for me.
the dangerous shit for later.
Okay. He does say that it's a bit of a jog to the gate. So here's how we're gonna do this. Zoran counts down time. And as it approaches, he begins to kind of like ready everyone. And then he gives you the signal and you head out. Ezrah, you trigger invisibility. And I'm going to just move you guys through the passages towards this gate. And at different intervals, we're going to make stealth checks to see how well you're doing. So, everyone go ahead and roll me that first stealth check. Bones, I am assuming Mossy is trailing behind under the ground and thus does not need to be involved in this situation.
Yeah, Mossy just gonna he's dashing underground.
Gotcha. Easy
And
peasy.
that ring has already paid dividends.
Already paid dividends. And of course, Jay's whole scenario has already not paid dividends.
Damn, Jay!
Right? Immediately. Oh, goodness gracious.
We did all this work.
Now, I'm sure. Look, there are many more stealth checks
fine.
to come.
You're
I'm sure it's
gonna do it
gonna. I'm sure it's
later.
gonna matter
I
eventually.
believe
Get him out of the way now.
This
Zoran.
isn't a con saves. It's not going to be consistent.
I believe
Zoran
when
is
it matters,
also
you're
going to
gonna
roll
be-
stealth. because Zoran's gonna roll stealth because Zoran is intentionally not stepping into the shadows, because if he steps into the shadows, he will leave you guys. So you have to be able to follow him, so he thus has to roll stealth checks. He rolls a 23. He would roll advantage, actually. He rolls a 33. Okay.
God damn.
He's better than Bones.
He's technically
Yeah.
not better than Bones. He has a plus 14.
rolled a
Bones has a plus
19.
16.
He's better than Bones.
I rolled a
The numbers,
15. If
That
I
being
rolled a
the
said-
numbers don't lie.
That being said, unlike Bones,
Almost dead.
he can actually step into shadow and just go
Away.
become imperceivable.
Well, I could do that.
No, even beyond, like, he cannot be detected. Even like he is one with the shadow. It's not invisible. He is just not there. That's why you guys, because normally Bones, you would have at least been able to hear him, but that's why you had no idea he was even there the first time in Errol's chambers.
So he's better than
Yeah,
Bones.
that makes sense. He's technically better than me. I'll concede.
He's a snappy boy. Okay, we get wait. Ashes rolled twice for stealth?
No, the first one was just me
Testing
playing around.
originally. Gotcha. Okay, so we have an 18, a 15, a 5.
Yes, no, he rolled twice. The 18 is what counts.
Oh, did he roll?
No.
Oh, gotcha.
I was laying on, sorry.
Gotcha. 18, 15, 5, 31, 33. This is a group stealth check. That is a success. You guys are moving south. You head slightly east, back towards the way you came. You head south again. Ah,
Whoa. That was
Yeah.
funky.
I stretched you.
I have
And
like
it,
an after image to my health numbers. It's weird.
it is it weird? All right, and it is at this point you guys are kind of like traveling through these mist-filled tunnels. You see a chamber to the south of you. It is here where we get some new things. Who this?
Oh boy.
So thick fog to the southeast of you. Thick fog obscures this cavern, but you can see within the fog a flickering light occasionally blossom. And Zoran points at it and very quietly says, "That's bait." And then he motions you on to the south. Okay?
Yeah, I was just about to walk in there and touch it.
I need
Same.
stealth checks again from everyone.
No, Jeremy.
Yes.
I don't like this game anymore.
19,
No.
Yeah,
26,
the lowest I can
23, 15,
15!
and a 30.
He's still better than Bones.
He's more talented than me. What can I say?
You guys, Zoran moves southward, pauses at this kind of like little, this little fork, right? And listens very, very intently, like he's trying to determine which direction is going to be safe to go. And then he motions you all to follow him as he moves to the southwest. As he gets closer and closer to this point, he slows down. He gets really, really slow. And his eyes just stay focused to the southeast. And he looks, if you were just like watching this man, he would look paranoid, right? Because he's just like every brief moment he's flicking his head back and forth to see if there's any shadow, any movement, any noise, anything coming from the south. Like he's a rabbit ready to bolt, right? But seemingly things are fine. You come upon another cavern. And there are 3 large pillars of rock rising up here to support the ceiling. The thick fog tinges red at the area between the pillars. And each of the pillars is painted with streaks of red in the image of these fearsome 20-foot tall minotaur-like creatures, right? And the red color is very obviously blood. No question asked. So these 3 pillars are just like drawn, painted with blood in the images of giant 20-foot tall minotaurs. And there's just this emanating red tinge from the central portion of these pillars. And Zoran will motion each of you to go the fuck around them, right? Rather than pass through them. And he takes you all the way around. And it's at this point I need another stealth check. Ooh,
God
crit!
Damn.
Yeah, fuck you, Zoran.
Crit! Oh, I hope he fucking crits. I hope he crits. Crit!
I'm still better. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Well, you're right. You do have a higher one, but the fact that he crit when you crit is still pretty astonishing.
And that he was better the last 2 rolls.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, yeah, I mean, fair.
Look,
There's a
at
lot
the
of
end,
crits.
at the end there, it's just Bones.
That was a lot of crits. We
Bones
are the
and
night.
Zoran both just kind of like get a little bit ahead of you guys,
Wait,
and
I'm
just
the only one who
disappear for
doesn't
a
have
second.
advantage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you are.
Well, that's what we were saying, right? Like, Ezra got the ring so he could go invisible. We outfitted Ashes so he didn't have disadvantage and then gave him advantage. And you're the odd man out, but you're the one that can go ethereal and just bounce entirely if need be.
Also, he's still rolling higher than me.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, I'm just,
also
I'm
that.
just like casually walking
Constantly.
through the dungeon, just like, what's up?
You're just
I've
you're
got
just
like
a quiet
the
guy.
Tom and Jerry
Yeah.
like
Okay. The party as a whole is incredibly
Stealthy,
stealthy as you all kind of like move
Ooh.
forward.
I have a question, just for future reference. If I wanted to be ultra stealthy, could I cast Levitate on myself and just have Bones pull me?
Yeah, I mean in theory.
Yes.
The issue what I would do with that type
No.
of scenario though is I would give Bones disadvantage on his stealth checks.
Fuck that, I have advantage.
Yeah, but you would have disadvantage. So you would
So
be
then I would
neutral.
have normal.
And
I
the
mean,
reason
that's
why
still-
would be is you
still-
would have to be he'd have to
That's
be
still a
pulling you
guaranteed-
That's still a
around.
guaranteed 26.
Sure, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But I wouldn't let him drag a posse of levitating people around, you know? Right? If he wants to
Okay,
if you want to
everybody just
expend
perfectly motionless.
Right?
So,
If you wanna
learn
expend-
levitate. Got it.
if you want to expend the resources to levitate a person so that they can be pulled around quietly, absolutely, by all means.
Well, my boots have the option to swap to levitate.
Absolutely.
instead.
So what I could do is I could cast floating disc, have Bones
tensors.
levitate me, and then them both standing on the floating disc, and
Can a floating disc support both of them?
It's
It's like 500,
pounds.
isn't it?
yeah.
Look,
Yeah,
Ashes is like 400 on his own, my dude.
Wow, badass.
Ashes is built. He's like a 200-pound man, and then
he's got them
carries
cakes,
he
man.
carries 300 pounds of gear.
Okay, I am listed 240, and I am carrying 179 pounds of shit right now.
See? I don't just make
Doesn't-
this shit up.
He doesn't have disadvantage from his armor. He has disadvantage from his cakes.
From his
Just
cakes clapping.
clapping everywhere
Yeah,
he
absolutely.
walks.
Okay.
Damn, that
So you
jump
guys
shot,
are
bro.
slowly stealthing past this pillar room with the red tinged lights. And as you are moving into this new set of tunnels, a chill runs up each of your spines as
Uh-oh.
you get the
around.
intense sensation that you are being watched. Bones.
I feel like I'm being watched.
You hear a muffled voice saying, help me, coming from the north.
What? From the north? Like right here?
Just to the north and around the bend. Do you peel away, or do you stay with Zeron as he guides you all forward?
I peel away.
Oh God.
Roll.
I have much
fucking cat.
curiosity.
Roll. You are moving northward. Roll me another separate stealth check as the party moves away from you.
32.
Okay.
As Muriel's in the corner.
You move around
What
the
level
bend.
yet?
And you find there's a cave-in. There's a tunnel filled with rubble. And that voice is nowhere, or there's nothing to indicate where that voice might have come from.
I tap on the floor. Say.
Please roll me a stealth check. At disadvantage, your DC is a 20.
Okay, so normal. I rolled a 26.
A failure.
That critical failure.
No. I can't technically roll that. It's a
You
10.
can't technically critically fail. Right.
That's right.
That's fine.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
We're here to roll dice,
what's the term you use? So fun and interactive.
That is the term I use, and yes, I will accept that criticism.
I love it. That's fine. What actually happens though is the mist swirls up around you. And as you tap on the ground there, you're kind of like distracted for a moment.
I am. Yes.
And
You die.
It would, it is what it is.
and you look back and you realize you do not see the party at all.
Great.
I need you. Nothing else happens. Are you gonna do anything else here? Or are you gonna?
Mossy doesn't show up?
Mossy for as oh you tap the ground to try to like get Mossy's attention. Yeah, Mossy shows
Yeah.
up.
Say, Mossy, is there somebody under there?
Mossy looks at you and goes, "What?"
Under that rubble. Is there anybody under that rubble?
Dips down. Is gone for a little bit. While this is happening, the rest of you guys are following Zeron, right? Like, Bones is stealthy enough that when he ducks down underneath the mist, he's hidden even from you, right? So as he creeps off, none of you necessarily realize that he is gone.
That's concerning.
You begin to travel forward as the tunnel begins to slope upward, and eventually the floor raises above the thick fog. You do reach a kind of fork, right? And you hear the rattling of chains coming from the left passage, and Zeron begins to lead you down that location. Mossy pops back up after a moment. Bones, and then looks at you and kind of shakes his head and says, "There's nothing there. No one's here."
Say, shit. Okay. All right. I guess I'm gonna leave. I guess I just heard some stuff.
Okay. You
Ah,
head
Fucking
back.
have no idea where people went.
You head back to where you have come.
Yeah.
You're a proficient. You're a proficient tracker. You're a survivalist. You lived in the wild with your tribe for many years.
I did do that.
And your perception is freakishly high. It is not
Perfect.
difficult for you to determine that the party has traveled northward from this location. However, as you are kind of like sussing that out, you do hear from the south, you hear giggles coming from this cavern
Nope.
to the south of you.
Nope, not again. I run off. I run off north.
Okay, as you turn towards the north, you also hear shouts and what sounds like the clanging of weapons.
Oh, to the north?
No, from the south again.
Oh, shit. Well, that sucks. Oh, fucking Minotaur spirits. I run off.
Okay. Let me move you forward. You guys are rounding this bend as Bones pops up behind you. And you come... This whole thing kind of like slopes upwards, right? And you come around a bend to a gate in front of you. At the end of the tunnel is a tall oval mirror framed in stone hanging on the rocky wall. And the mirror's frame is carved with vines that twist through 11 humanoid skulls mounted into the frame. Carved across the bottom of the frame are words that say Himzim Judeum es Hishud. Does anyone... What languages does everyone speak, actually? I should just check.
I speak
None.
Common,
true.
Draconic, Dwarven, Primordial.
Gotcha.
Literally, the only language I speak that matters is Common.
It's common. Look, when the after campaign happens and we go to Adar, then your language is going to be really important.
That's right.
Yeah. That's there we go. Ezrah, you speak
just speak
Celestial.
common there,
This is a very strange strain of Celestial. It takes you a moment to decipher, but it says the dead know the secret. And as you read that, as you kind of like decipher that, you see Zoran pulls out one of those scrolls, unfurls it, reads from it, and casts a spell utilizing the scroll. And then you see the heads that have these vines twisting through them around the frame. They begin to shiver, and there's little dust particles that kind of shake off of the gate. And almost in unison, but slightly out of sync, the heads kind of like turn, clack, and they all say, Axilian. And Zoran looks at you, or I guess technically he would have said, he would have started, my bad, right prior to this happens, when he reads the scroll, he asks, what's the password? And then the skulls respond with Axilian. And so he says, he looks at you and he shrugs and he says, Axilian. And the gate goes silvery.
Speak with dead bullshit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Ezrah is easily able to like, oh, okay. And
So
Zoran will look back at you and he says, the password changes, as far as we can tell, randomly. We never know when it's going to shift. So if we come back through this way, Axilian might be the right answer, or it might not be.
What happens
Try
if you get it
first,
wrong?
Green, if you
otherwise,
give them the wrong
use the other
password, or
scroll.
what do they do?
Nothing as far as I'm aware of. It's just if you don't have a way to get the answer and you think you have the password, you can kind of be fucked.
Oh,
Gotcha.
yeah, sure.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay.
All right, hey, in the a few seconds we have before this closes, hey, do the things ever like speak to you around here?
What things?
Like, weird voices that say, help me, and then they laugh?
This place is full of things that you should absolutely not listen to.
Okay, well, I wish I had known that a minute ago.
I pointed and said that's bait.
That was not there. I don't recall that.
You didn't take that. Everything is bait.
Oh. Okay. Everything's bait. I'm gonna remember that one.
That's a philosophy to live by.
As speaking Ezra's language, absolutely.
So,
Okay.
sorry, I just want to get this down correctly. So, because this is going to go in the portal map, this is the what do you want to call them? The
It's
speak with.
It's yeah. I have it listed on my documents as the Speak with the Dead gate.
With the dead gate, and it goes from 12th to
The 10th.
10th.
Yep.
Okay, I will make those changes and update the map eventually.
Okay.
Leo.
Thank you
Wait, it's
for the
not-
clarification. I do that because I don't want to put in incorrect information and have to go back and change it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not updated already?
It's not
what have you been
automatically
doing for the
update. You don't
last
just have
15
you
minutes?
don't just have it open there making changes on the fly.
Well,
Jesus.
even though no, it takes a while to get it in
No.
there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, the silvery portal shimmers open, and Zaran looks at each of you and nods, and he jumps through the gate, and assuming everyone follows through.
Yeah.
Vroom, 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 vroom. You are overtaken, awash with the silvery arcane light, and back where you were not too long ago, actually.
Christ. This has
Um,
been a ping pong of a
Yep,
story thus far.
that's correct.
From 10 to 6 to 12 to 10.
I don't think that this is the correct one, but we're just gonna float with it for right now.
I like it.
You are back in the silvery arcane river, the veins under the mountain, and for the first time ever, you do not feel that familiar presence that normally greets you, and sometimes it holds you and has a conversation with you, but always it's like there, at least initially, and quite frequently there to protect you against the shadow. You do not feel that presence at all at this point.
Did.
Dang.
Zaran doesn't halt or wait.
Oh, we see him.
Yes, he is here with you. Yeah,
We actually
absolutely.
have someone with us.
Yes,
Okay.
he is actually actively here with you this time. So he moves forward through the silver arcane streams, not heedless to the shadow around the tunnels, but in very much a manner of all I can do is move forward. What else can I do, right? So he just moves forward. Is there anything else that anyone is doing aside from because this is again this first time where you kind of have not been greeted by that other presence. Is there anything that you guys do, or do you just move forward through the veins under the mountain?
I guess there's not really much to do. Yeah.
We move on.
I call out, hey, you there?
Roll for me a D100, Bones.
Sweet.
And you die.
Pretty high.
Bones, you do not get any real response, no verbal response, but you do feel a little, almost like a warm hand on your back, pushing you forward.
Okay. All right, they're here.
Zaran kind of like looks over his shoulder. What are you talking about?
The thing, the person.
What?
There's a person. There's a chick. She's always like helping us.
He narrows his eyes like he has no fucking clue what you're talking about. And he seems relatively familiar with the portals.
Well, me too.
Wow.
that Bones cat-like response of like,
that Petty's coming through.
absolutely. Okay, all right, Petty Bones.
That's his band name.
Yeah, with the Petty Bones.
Teddy Bones sounds like
Petty
sounds like a ska band.
The current of the arcane stream takes you. You all feel yourselves pushed forward, taken by the current. And as happens every time you go through these paths, eventually the eyes of the shadow fall upon you and it races after you. I need everyone to roll me a D100. And I need to consult my handy dandy magic gate sheet.
Jeremy, I'd like to use my bardic inspiration on this D100 roll.
I specifically said no D100s. Okay.
I didn't recall that.
Rowett.
Wow, 243.
All right.
Why did you roll it twice, Zach?
What?
Oh no, the first one was for
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
70 was the.
Yep.
Good
Zaran.
Lord, Jeremy.
Zaran rolled a 94. He ain't about this shit. We got some
rules the mountain.
We got some rollies. Ezra and Bones both rolled 43s. I need a roll, please, and thank you.
What roll? Another
Rollies
D100?
was always
Yeah,
a
another
D20.
D100. Yep.
Oh, okay.
It's me.
Hey. Bye.
What are you watching, Zach?
Oh, I'm playing Cassette Beasts.
Okay. All right. Actually, so the shadow streaks after you. Hands shoot down to envelop Ezra. And Ezra, you feel that blessing that Erelal imparted upon you, the Great Mother, the light of Elistrai, shines out of you, and you feel the shadow repulsed, pushed back away from you, and you are free upon your path. So,
Do I lose my bardic inspiration?
you do not lose your bardic inspiration. No, that was just the blessing granted to you by Erelal. The bardic inspiration is different.
Okay, just making sure that wasn't
What the fuck was that, Jay?
strobing it up.
Who knows?
Yeah. All right. Yeah, no, you're good. Okay, I need to not grab that entire thing. Please and thank you. We're gonna go over here. Oh, boy. Boy.
Bye bye.
One by one, you eventually find yourselves falling through the portal, out of the veins, and back into the 10th floor of the dungeon. I am gonna double check and make sure that you guys aren't sitting over here, so you don't have multiple different sight points. You do not. And I'm gonna put you on this part of the map.
Marco.
Follow.
Left side.
Right?
Anyway.
Left side. Okay.
Okay.
Wrong side.
So, don't be clicking
Is
doors.
that a blindside monster quote?
No, it's a Remember the Titans quote.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm glad someone caught it.
Damn, we're way the fuck up here. Jesus.
You're not actually way the fuck up there. There are multiple levels, so this is off on the side. You are, in point of fact, just above that staircase where Zeron had pointed out. But the temple complex is multiple floors, so they're set apart basically. It's kind of like Willow's tower on the 4th level of the dungeon, right? So when you go into her tower, you're in a slightly different part of the map, basically. So, you all, one by one, come out of the portal.
Am I still invisible?
Yes. You are still invisible. An hour
Yeah.
has not passed, but you don't know how long.
I didn't know. I didn't know if the tunnel was gonna somehow disenchant or
Nope.
anything like that.
The tunnel, the traveling through the gate did not disenchant your magic, and an hour has not passed. You know, time can be wibbly wobbly in the portals sometimes. In this particular case, things seem to be fine, but you don't know how long you have on your invisibility per se. So that is something to keep in mind. It is as you all are coming out, you find already, right? Zeron Adaragon is at the doorway to this chamber that you were all standing in. It's not a small chamber, it's not insubstantial, but there's not really a lot going on in it. There's just a mirror on the south side that has the same kind of iconography and words as the mirror that you just passed through, right? And then there is a little wardrobe made of purple wood standing on the east wall. And Zeron's not having any. He's not playing around with any of that shit. He is standing at the door and he looks at each of you and he just immediately he gives you the quiet sign, like, what you guys just did was the preamble. That was the easy part, right? Now you're going through an entirely different situation with a lot of unknowns and very, very dangerous encounters. So he looks at you all and he kind of like gives you this nod of like questioning, like, are you ready?
Yes.
Then he opens the door and steps out into the temple complex of Obsidia. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session. Next time we play, the players will be making their way through this incredibly dangerous location in order to assault a location within House Avrindar in order to free 2 prisoners and then escape back somewhere? Question mark? So we'll see how that goes next time in Dungeons of the Mad Mage. Thanks for watching.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.